Do I want to wake up? I definitely don't want to wake up because of winter here. He was out all night in the forest and then he came back early in the morning, and his fur, which was supposed to be bright white, shining and illuminating because I gave him a bath yesterday, and then he came back pure brown, like a whole different cat. Like he just went out for a night and came back with a whole new identity. Yeah. He had the audacity to come and sleep beside me while he was extremely dusty and dirty. And he woke me up in the middle of the night asking for food. So, this is the life of a cat parent. You have to put up with your shit. Graduated a few months back, but then we had the official graduation ceremony last week. So me and my brother, we went there to get my certificate and get the whole graduation ceremony thing done. Winter, no. So after the graduation was done, I decided to take a year gap. A lot of people, they have this concept of a year gap being as a waste of time, and that's what I've always heard from people. They say that why are you taking a year gap? Well, isn't it so wasteful and all that? But then for me, what I think is that taking a year gap, if you have a solid plan what to do and what you want to do in this year gap, then I don't think it's ever a waste of time. For me, I decided to take this year gap because first of all, the pandemic problem thing, and then it was just quite difficult for me, I think, to even think about going to a different college in the middle of a pandemic and then trying to settle down in a really different environment with different people, and I'll probably be stuck in a hostel or an apartment on my own if I decided to go for masters right after my graduation. So, and but even before the pandemic happened, I already had thoughts about taking a year gap. And then in this year gap time, I really wanted to think about what I can do apart from my education, because as I told you, like I have so many things that I wanted to do, starting from art, painting, and then music, and then designing stuff. I just wanted to do something something that would bring me a side income also from the things that I'm actually learning and doing. And then after I came back home, I started crocheting like crazy. And I don't really know why I started crocheting, but then it's actually very therapeutic. And it's like once you start crocheting, you cannot stop. Like you don't even want to stop until you finish the project. And when you finish the project, it's such a satisfying moment. Like you have achieved something. Maybe that's the thing. That's why I like crocheting, because it gives me a sense of victory at the end. Because they say is I'm not studying, or I'm not giving any exams where I can get my marks and see that I've done really well. That sense of dopamine rush. So I guess crocheting is a way of replacing my dopamine rush, the sense of victory, like how a guy or a girl would, play video games and win, and then they would get that sense of victory at the end. So maybe this is my video game. So I am officially a yarn hoe, so this is like an entire collection of yarn. I have so many plans in my mind, like what I want to make and what I want to wear. So The first thing that I made when I started crocheting was actually for my grandma. It was a really huge shawl for her because she's always feeling cold and all. So I thought I'll make her a really huge shawl with some flowery patterns on it. And then the second one was actually for my grandpa. Okay, so initially I wanted to make him a really cute vest. A checkered vest, like a green checkered vest, which would look really cute. But then unfortunately I bought the wrong yarn and it turned out really hard. So this is the thing. So this is the checkered vest that I really wanted to give my grandpa, but it turned out so weird and so untidy, and it's so hard. So please don't judge me, but this was my first project. And yeah, this was weird. And look at the collar, like I feel like a prince in this, like some medieval armor. I don't even know how I stitched this in. So this was like a total failure, but I feel like a monarch in this. And then the next thing in trend was balaclavas. So it looks like this. I mean, the front part looks pretty cute, but when you got the back and the side, it looks like an alien. And I can't really wear this outside because the color combinations are kind of weird. And it looks like it's a flower. So I made a cute little sweater for winter also. And this is a cute little hat for winter. But I made this pom-pom a little too big, so I might have to do something. This turned out kind of cute. I really love the yarn of this. And the other one, so this is, I think, my favorite color combination. And it turned out pretty well. So I also made a balaclava for my dad. And then now I'm making a sweater for my mom. So crocheting has been, I can say, a huge part of my life now. Because whenever I'm stressed or whenever I feel kind of down or anxious, I always start crocheting something. And it kind of gives me peace and then gets my mind off things easily. So I would recommend you to start doing something that would make you feel calm. Maybe painting or pottery or crocheting or knitting or sewing or something like that. I'll probably start my master's in the month of September or October of this year. And am I excited about it? Yes, but I really hope that the pandemic would subside by then, because obviously I don't want to get my education done at home. I prefer, doing practicals and getting a lot of hands-on in my master's. And I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this in my previous videos too. So I will be pursuing my neuroscience for masters. I'm pretty sure a lot of you who are watching this video also must be in biotech or some other engineering or medical college, and you guys may also be confused about what you really want to do. So I would say that you shouldn't take too much pressure on yourself, because you just kind of figure out. Because when I was in my 10th standard or 11th, 12th, and then even my first year of college, I was actually very confused, very worried all the time. And that's also one of the reasons why my anxiety started going up and my depression also started going up. So because I was always putting this pressure on myself, saying that I really need to figure out by this time, I really need to do this by this time, it was all scheduled and organized. And if something goes out of the routine, then I felt like nothing could go right, or I was incapable of handling some things. So just don't be too hard on yourself, because as time goes by, you're really gonna figure things out. Initially, what I thought was for my master's, I would go abroad to study, and I really wanted to study in MIT and Stanford because uh, one of I really look up to one of these neuroscientists called Dr. Huberman. I listen to his podcast and his studies done, and it's really interesting, and I really want to meet him at least once in my life or work with him at least once in my life in his lab. So that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to go abroad to study, so that I can meet all these people that I look up to, all the scientists that I look up to, and also not forgetting Jordan Peterson, because I think he is one of the internet father figures that I look up to. He has been giving advices on the internet, and whenever I used to feel down or I need some structure in my life, I always go to his videos, or I always read his books or something. I really wanted to go abroad, but then as time went by, I think I had this gut feeling that I needed to study here in India, and a lot of people would tell me, and they did tell me, that studying in India, there's just no scope for my field of study. But then I felt like I need to lay my foundation here in India, so I decided to do my master's here in India, but I'm still not sure which college. If any one of you needs some help in the scholarship area, then you can just comment down below and I'll try my best to help you guys, or just DM me in my Instagram. Also, during this, I think it's been 4 or 5 months of my year gap. During this 4 or 5 months, I have tried to study. I have enrolled in medical neuroscience and neurobiology online courses from different universities, and it was going really well in the start, but yeah, I don't know, as time went by, I just started resetting all my deadlines for quiz and assignments. The reset button looks so amazing. So I don't know, I just left it there. I think this is one of the problems of online studying, online classes, that you don't really have that college environment, that going to the library and studying with your friends or clearing doubts with your professors, that sort of environment, that studying alone at home makes it a lot more difficult. And I praise all the students who are actually excelling in their studies even at home. I have been thinking a lot about a lot of things like small business and stuff, because before I go for my master's, for my studies, I really want to build a good foundation for a small business that I have in mind, and I will tell you guys about it in later videos. It's really exciting for me, and I want to show you guys how you can also balance things up. You can do the things that you really want at the side. At the same time, you can go for your career that you want, because education is really important. Like, people can say you can drop out of college and pursue your business and all that, but then sometimes I do agree with that, but not every time, because every person is different. And I believe that you can focus on your career even in STEM fields, and at the same time you can do things that you really like at the side. So I'll just think of a nice video for that, so that I can help you guys optimize your time management, and also live your best life. I guess I suddenly sound like a motivational guru, which I really don't like. Yeah, just think of me as your big sister that really wants to help you live your best life. Turtle, Winter, here. So this is my graduation photograph, and I'm so glad that the department provided us with, individual photographs like this, and given us such an amazing memento. So yeah, I'm proud of myself, and I'm sure you guys are looking forward to this too. Oh my gosh, I just realized something. You know how I've been crocheting and making stuff for the past few months, and I've realized that all my measurements, all my calculations are off, for my clothes. That's why some clothes are kind of high low, there's some holes somewhere. So I guess this is why, like, God just did not give me a medical seat in the beginning, because I wanted to go for medical neuroscience in the beginning. But then, even though I gave so many entrance exams, so many tests and coaching and stuff, I did not get even a single one, and I was so disheartened. But now I think I know why. Because just imagine if I become a doctor and all my calculations are off and all my dosage, medication dosage are off, that it might actually kill someone. So yeah, I'm kind of glad that I did not get into medical and I got into biotech, because in biotechnology I was able to actually explore all my options, get my hands on every single subject, and then from there I knew what my strengths were and what my weaknesses were. Obviously math is my biggest weakness, and I don't hate math. I mean, I do enjoy math, but I don't know, it may be the interest, or maybe it just does not click with me. So that's what I learned also in my 5 years, because I actually had a year back. I failed in so many subjects in the beginning because there was just so many problems, new college, new life, all those things. And then I failed like math 4 or 5 times, and I think only in my fourth attempt that I made it through with good grades. I don't even know how. So yeah, it was such a journey, and now that I look back, I'm glad that I even failed, because of that failure only I developed my patience, my resistance to really work hard, even though I don't have interest in that subject much. I was able to put in effort and manage my time on how to get through that subject. So everything has a reason, like whatever's happening in your life, in my life. So it's quite interesting what life can actually bring out later on, and you realize so many things, which is quite stupid and funny also at the same time.
Sorry I didn't kiss you, but it's obvious I wanted to. Bubblegum down my throat and it's a curse, but my luck couldn't get any worse, 'cause I swallowed the bubblegum. Oh, and these 7 years will be pretty dumb. Pink flowers grow from my skin, left abysmal veins, and I grin. You look so